Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino and the National Finals Tonight Show. Brought to you in part by Cinch, Preferred, Dewshine, Cactus Saddles, Ram, Montana Silversmiths, Budweiser, 14 Hands and H3 Wines, Crown Royal, Absolute, Bullet Bourbon, JP Weisers, Big Tex Trailers, Cow Ranch, LG, Weaver Leather, Boot Barn, Resist All Hats, Rodeo Historical Society, Ecolab, Pilot Flying J, American Cowboy. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everyone. Boy, what a good-looking crowd right down there, huh? Yeah, two good-looking single ladies, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. One of them's last name is Gay. It's going to be a good evening here tonight, isn't it, huh? Hey, welcome to National Finals tonight. We are so honored to have you here with us. We have great guests coming up and Cowboys from the Shootout, but nobody's here yet. So we'll just kind of wing this thing as we go along. We just need somebody who can talk ad nauseum about nothing. Oh, Donnie's here. Let's bring out my co-host, 8-time world champion bull rider, Donnie Gay is here. Donnie.
Yeah. Good evening.
Oh, hey, we're kind of matching, aren't we?
Look pretty.
That
What?
pink on you and your name and everything. Look at you. You're a brave man, huh? That's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. It matches your eyes. Let's, I mentioned
You
that
know, he used to be my friend.
Donnie and I have been working together for 30 years. 30 years. How about that, huh? Yep. Very, very proud
Still
of that.
dragging our boots on, so that's not a bad thing.
Very proud of that. Yep. I just mentioned, you want to introduce your daughter who's here
All
this
right.
evening?
Well, I do have some of my family. My wife's around here somewhere, but my daughter, she just flew in. Tally Gay. She's she's teaching school. Does a bilingual 5th grade class, and I'm awfully proud of her. I asked her. I said, "Don't you?" She went to college playing golf, and they won the national championship. So she came home, put the golf clubs in the closet, and I said, "Don't you want to play on the LPGA?" I said, "You know, you work hard. You probably could." And she said, "I watched you all my life." She said, "I want scheduled vacations and a 401k. So I got a pretty smart kid.
Life is good. Hey, wasn't the bull just before we came out, I mentioned to Donnie that Clayton Foltine, I don't know how much he's won. Now, one bull ride he won $85,000 for. But
8-second ride, $85,000. 8 seconds. Do that by the hour, and you check out your 401k.
Yeah, and he, outstanding ride tonight, thanks to you.
He was coming on the show, had his family all set to come over, but he had to go to the South Point to get his buckle. So, you know, he's well on his way to winning better than $150,000. You know, want to know how much money he had in the bank last Friday? Second performance, $93.
Really?
True story. You think rodeoing's fun? Married, gets you some kids, and you don't win on a regular basis? This is a tough business. These guys that you'll be seeing coming across the stage and stuff, you know, they chose it, but they better like it.
Yeah, his checking account looks a lot better. I don't know, how many of you went to the Shootout this afternoon at the Orleans Arena as well?
All
Isn't
right.
it great?
Great.
Donnie, this whole thing was the idea of Boyd Gaming and 3,600 people there today.
It was a nice crowd, a little bit better than yesterday, the first performance, and you got some great competitors, a good rodeo. It's a wonderful venue. That's the first rodeo that we've had in there. They've roped some steers in there and that sort of thing, but full-blown rodeo, and we're working some kinks out. We're going to get this gin, and we've already set it up to where it's going to happen again next year, and that's mainly because we've gotten a lot of support from you people that have bought some tickets and gone over there and checked out a new way to rodeo. How you like that gambling? Go to the sports book and be able to put down, you know, $100 on Joe Beaver, get back $1,500. That works for me.
I like it. Donnie, if you'll step over this way. First, would you show one of these buckles, Donnie, that we're giving
okay,
away
let me get
these
this first one up here.
Montana Silversmiths. These buckles
Okay.
made
Cameraman,
possible,
check this
Donnie,
out.
by H3 Wines. And give them a hand for that, will you? The folks from H3 Wines, they are making these buckles possible.
I mean, you know, whenever you put that on, it's kind of like the way we started the first performance. Now, you'd thought that there was a mistake made, but when, you know, the bomb went off and the pyro shot up and the lights in the arena shut off, the alarm started honking and the lights were flashing, all the doors slammed down, none of the Cowboys could get in or out. They're thinking, oh, man, it's going to ruin the rodeo. And I said, hell, what a great conversation piece. You know, everybody knows where we're at now. Fire Marshal, he's got up off the floor. Hey, it was fun.
It's good. Donnie, if you'll hold that buckle, let's take a look at the winners today from round 2 of the Boyd Shootout. And, well, before we do that, I've just been told in my ear that our fearless co-host has joined us here this evening.
He's really fast in the team roping and tie-down roping, but sometimes behind the wheel in Las Vegas.
But he's here now. 8-time world champion Joe Beaver is here. Joe, welcome. Come on out and say hi to the folks. There he is.
Evening. T-shirts. All the way back.
What a throw. Dang, loosening up for that tomorrow night.
You
Tomorrow
bet.
shootout.
Tomorrow.
Must be a roper, yeah.
Oh, you tricked him.
You're looking right there, didn't you?
Come on over here on this side, Joe.
I loved it. You're introducing him. He's walking through the door looking at me like, ye of little faith.
Yeah.
Had it
Down
covered.
the guy.
Joe, let me tell people the T-shirts that you were giving out were sponsored by Weaver Leather,
Yes,
making
they
all
are.
of that
Yes,
possible. The purple bands that are on there. Tell them quickly what the purple bands
Diabetes. We started for the INFR at the Indian Finals right down the street about 4 years ago. And we raised $10,000 and LLC'd it and said here, and they have really ran with it. It's Donnie knows. He's over there with me at the Indian Finals, and they've really taken it. It's something that we need to address, especially life on the reservations. It's a bad deal.
Okay, very nicely done. Congratulations to Joe for doing that. Let's talk about round 2 of the shootout now and the winners from today. First of all, Donnie, take a look. This guy's a 2-time winner in the bareback riding, Mr. Jake Vold, 86.5, if you'll take a look at the ride.
All right,
It's
well,
coming.
there's another Vold on in town, you know, and he's come to get the money. He won the bareback riding yesterday with 86.5. Check this out. I mean, he's rocking and rolling. I thought he was going to be at the other rodeo down the street, but he messed up a little bit. He's here at the Boyd Shootout, and I expect him to be down the road next year, but I'm going to tell you, he's going to come get another piece of hardware. Tomorrow, 6 guys will compete. The best 3 will turn right around, compete again for all the money. This is Jake
Would you
Vold.
welcome Jake Vold right here.
Come on
Jake,
in,
come
Jake.
on out. There you go.
Kind of getting that walk onto the winner circle down, Jake.
Just 2
Yeah,
in a
I like
row,
that.
huh? 2 in a row.
All right.
Picture.
There's old flash bulb.
Nicely done. Again, those
All
buckles, H3 Wines making that possible. Joe, if you'll step up here, the steer wrestling today, our round 2 winners, Wade Sumter, but if you'll take a look at his run and talk about that in the steer wrestling.
Steer wrestling, here we go. Fast time today. All right, the start's important. He knocks the barrier out, gets a good catch, pulls his steer around. The steer looks like he's going to go slow. He hits fast. He wins a go-around. We got a buckle for him. Bring it on out.
The big man, Wade Sumter, is here. Come on out, Wade.
He's got a job down the street this week hazing, but next year, back here bulldogging. Congratulations. Let's get a picture.
Stand right in there, Donnie. There you go.
Hey, well, wait a minute.
Hey, hold
Yeah,
up,
perfect.
hold
Take
up.
it.
Somebody bring the box. Donnie needs the box to stand on.
Congratulations, Wade. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do it right now. We'll find out if they are. Joe's going to talk about it first. All right, in the team roping, the winning team, Cody Snow, Quinn Kessler. Joe, take a look at it. Good time, 4 and 1. Call.
Yeah, it was a tough round of team roping today. And here we go with Cody Snow. Barely missed the national finals as Quinn gets out, gets on him fast. Quinn Kessler, he gets the separation, heels him on the big hop. Things come tight fast, wins the go-around. And I know one man looking down from above is awful proud of one boy tonight.
All right, here they are. Cody Snow, Quinn Kessler. Winners in the team are open.
right. Are they old enough to be in here?
I was going to say, I don't know whether they look so young or Donnie looks. No, they're. Congratulations, guys. Thank you very much. Yep, give them a hand. 4-1 the time for them. This gentleman, if I remember right, from the land down under in the saddle bronc riding. Donnie, if you'll take a look at that, the winner in round 2 of the shootout, Sam Spreadborough. Take a look.
Okay, well, first time, his name's Sam Spreadborough, so I didn't think anything strange until I went up and said hello and got him to talk to me. He is from Australia, but the guy can ride bucking horses. What he really is a cowboy. Been doing this a long time, been to the National Finals. Takes a fall, but it says 8 seconds. That's what he did. Winning saddle bronc ride today. Come on in here, Samuel.
Sam Spreadborough right there. Give him a hand. Welcome, Sam. Round 3 in the championship round tomorrow for the Boyd Gaming Shootout. Let's go to the tie-down roping. Joe, you're up to call this one. This young man,
am up and ready.
Michael Otero.
All right, Michael Otero missed a little party down the street by just a little bit. Got to come here, gonna redeem himself. Gets a good start, 3 swings, looks like he's ran him too far to time very fast. Wrong, caught him coming off the ground just like Trevor Brazil last night. Puts a rap and a slap on him, gets back on his horse, wins the day money. Michael Otero, he is glad to be here. Next year should be down the street. Bring him in.
Bring him in. Mike, come on in, Michael. Give him a hand. Mike, any way you want to go, Michael's just fine. Right over there is just great. And in the barrel racing, Joe, if you'll step up here for this
Same thing.
young lady, Christine Laughlin, 15-3 the time.
Been down the street last year, this year, not so much luck, gets to come here, flies in, borrows a horse, and looky there, to the first barrel. If you get the money barrel turns, you're going to win. She's got it down all the way across the second. Let me add how good our ground is here in the Orleans Arena. Third barrel's turn, and it rocks and rocks, but it doesn't drop. She wins the day money, and we also rake after each runner. Just thought I'd throw that in there,
Would you welcome Christine Laughlin, the winner in the barrel racing. Hello, young lady.
Congratulations. No, I'm kidding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I don't even have to, really stretch out for this.
Go ahead and stand all the way up now so he feels worse.
Congratulations. Give all of them a hand, will you?
Day
Done?
2
Day
of
2.
the Boyd Gaming Cinch Shootout, where we rake after each runner and our ground is good.
I like it. Donnie, and in the bull riding, let's have you explain. Nobody covered their bull today, but.
Right, and so we're going to give the buckle. What we're going to do is the first performance, we had a tie. Trevor Kastner and Jeff Askey. Well, Jeff hadn't never been out here, hadn't never been to the finals, so he got the buckle. So tonight's bull riding buckle, since we don't have to order an extra one, we'll give it to Trevor. But I said, if you get another buckle, heck, let's give it to the stock contractors. Bull riders were crummy today, and the bulls were okay.
Yep, I like it. All right, let's talk about now National Finals tonight and the big show down the road, the National Finals Rodeo, round 9 now in the books. We want to tell you during the course of our show, if you have questions, a bunch of them already coming in up here. If you have questions, you can text those to us. Let me give you the phone number. It's 702-983-0683. That number will be up on our big screen. And let's look at one of these questions, gentlemen, right here. This first one says, why don't the PRCA Cowboys form a union?
Because they don't want to have to work for a living.
Or be told what to do and when to do it.
That's it.
Yeah, we had some people that even told us that they were going to come to and be on our show, and then didn't.
But it's okay because it's not a union.
That's right.
And we don't like being told what or where or when.
So yes, but they could if somebody had the money. But I'd hate to run it for the Cowboys. I mean, Jimmy Hoffa didn't make it that long, so.
Yeah, it would be a tough.
Hey, and they didn't have to deal with guys as big as bad as Wade Sumner.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take this one more next question here. It says, how many times can the stock be used? So they're talking about calves, steers, horses,
Riding
bulls.
event stuff go 2 times.
Timed event cattle will go 3 times. One set goes 4. The first set will go the first round. They'll also go the last round. But they have the option in the timed events to change the rotation along the week if one set of cattle seems to be better than the others. It's funny, in this building, you can take in a couple runs, changes a steer and a calf a lot of times immensely. They don't run as good. They stop, they duck, they do whatever. So they can change the order, but one set goes 4 times, the rest go 3.
Okay, well, thanks for that question very much. Also,
Okay,
I'll tell
so
you,
wait just a second. Scroll that up to get to where I can read the rest of 4.
number 4.
Come on, because Joe's already stirred the pot here a little bit.
What's he gonna
Says,
fix?
Will Sean Davis fix the ground for the barrel racers before some horses or rider gets hurt? The ground is terrible. Well, okay. So you think Sean Davis, who's been running this thing since 1985, actually sets up the ground to be bad?
Yeah. Or he doesn't know it. I mean, he knows.
So he sets it up. They set it up as good as he knows how. And first performance, I thought it was really pretty good. And then it got progressively worse. But if you're doing the same things and expecting a different result, I can't really help you there.
No, you can't. And we know you can see it dry. There's nights you go in there to watch a rodeo and it's dust. You can see it. You know, or nights it's too wet. You can see the results. But if somebody's trying and it's changing every night, you can be helped.
Okay,
and
so
you can't,
I don't really know how much raking after each run with a hand rake, one guy on each barrel would do. I don't know how much good that would do, but
it's an attempt.
I'm going to tell you, if they would just we do it here, we only have 3 people. They got 3,000 people over there running around with nothing to do that's getting a check. You know, so they could actually try that, and if it didn't work, stop. But you know, that's my only gripe. Don't do the same thing expecting another result.
And Donnie is as much on production as anybody because Frontier Rodeo and Neil Gay have, you know it's production. But if you notice out here, we 3 guys on each barrel, and by the time they get to the next barrel, those guys are through. So it's not going to hurt production at all. And if it doesn't help the ground, I'm like, Donnie, okay, then don't do it. But let's try something.
Okay, we appreciate the question. Keep them coming. Good job, guys. And I do want to tell you, too, YouTube, if all of our shows are logged on YouTube, and last year 17,000, 18,000 people checked out National Finals Tonight on YouTube. If you get home and want to do that or back to your hotel room, you can do that as well. So round 9 in the books. How many went to the NFR this evening, round 9? Very many of you? Yeah.
Working, I mean, it's like the old days, man. Work a rodeo in the afternoon, work one at night, man, go in and have a beer. It doesn't get any better than that.
How good is that? Yep.
And you didn't have to go shopping. Yeah.
As if he shops anyway.
Well, I had to go to the car and unload all that stuff that the little woman had purchased.
Yeah, you're double duty now. You're double dutied on that buying.
Oh, you're a good husband. Let's, if you didn't get a chance to watch the show on television tonight, Donnie and Joe were doing it live on CBS Sports Network. They're here to do it live for you now. We put together a highlight reel. Donnie, round 9.
Bareback riding. All right. Casey Field, 4-time champ of the world. You know his dad suffering from pancreatic cancer. Did a great interview today. You know, he messed up a horse last night. He was 67 points. Stephen Peebles had moved up in a virtual tie. If you want to get the world champion buckle in the bareback riding, you got to knock out Casey Field. And let me show you what he does tonight. When it's time to win, when you have to, the guy that wants to win, he wants the ball. Give it to Casey Field. 82 points, first place. The man is an absolute animal.
Put the nail in the board because it's hammered down now. Look at that.
That's just beautiful. You can't ride a bucking horse any better than that.
Casey Martin. He's got 7 or 8 kids. Christmas needs money. And finally, the run we've been waiting for all week. He gets a great head catch. He stays ahead of this steer. As you watch the butt of the steer come around over his hip, he's reaching for the nose. Sean Mulligan, Hazen, does a great job. This yellow horse can fly. Watch Casey Martin. He kind of catches him by the neck because he didn't have a real good go at him. But right there, see the butt of the steer? As it comes around, he's ahead of him. Got the nose, pancakes him. In the team roping. How Trevor Brazil got out of the barrier, I'll never know, but it was just right. Watch this. I mean, he's throwing, he's in the barrier. Patrick Smith said, man, I thought he broke the barrier, and then I looked up and he didn't. Good thing he roped 2 feet. He'd have been in trouble. Watch this barrier, watch. As he hits it, it's just coming off of the steer. Great run, 4 flat. These guys have won $1 jillion together, and they set it up tonight. Won the go-around. Trevor got over $6 million with this win. King of the Cowboys strikes again.
Some of the toughest horse in the business out tonight. Let her rip. Frontier Rodeo. This horse been an eliminator. He's been voted the best bucking horse in Las Vegas. He's a Frontier Rodeo bronc. Taos Muncie, 2-time champ of the world. He's nearly bucked off once. He's nearly bucked off twice. Gets back down in the saddle, go round win, 83 points. This right here, he hasn't won much all week. There's a good mark out. Held him. Now, lost a little bit of rain right there. Look at him come up out of the saddle. But how he saves himself, he keeps extending his legs all the way straight. Gets back down in under the swells. Look at that horse bucking. You can't make one do that. This horse loves his job. You know where he came from? Matt Williams doing a high school rodeo.
Yeah, high school horse. How you'd like to have
That
him?
bucking horse.
Tie down rope and Hunter Heron. Great run. Another 6'6". 1/10 off the arena record. Hunter Heron should win $150,000 here, but he's got to do this. Watch his first swing. See how his first swing is down, pointed at the target, so he ropes the calf. When he ropes him, he wins, but he misses too many. You got to rope him before you time. Nobody's better at this right here than Hunter Heron. Big, strong, sets the flank up. Everybody's putting a wrap mahui trying. He is 6.6. That's less than 7. That's going to win the go-around tonight for Hunter Heron. If he catches him, he's going to win a lot. Top of the ground tonight in the barrels, Donnie, we talked about on TV. She's had fast times all week. She's hit barrels, Jana Bean.
If she hadn't hit those barrels, she's really a factor. But on the top of the ground, this was a great run.
It was. Had them stickers on her horses for pain, run, and ride. She gets by the third barrel. This horse runs out so hard. See him extending himself and reaching. She wins the day money, $13.71.
In a bull riding Clayton Foltine. He's only ridden now 2 bulls. He was coming on the show tonight. He said, I got this bull. What do you do? And I told him what I thought. He does everything perfectly. Yes, sir. My daughter calls him Gatorade. This kid was a high school rodeo champion. Now he's a NFR champion. Well, you know, you never work on your get-off. That usually comes anyhow. Look at this bull ride.
How many bulls?
I mean, he sat down. That bull hadn't been ridden but one time in 2 years. He keeps his hips over on the inside. He's got a little bit bigger bite with the left cheek of his butt and keeps it right there. That's how you do it.
He can ride the rankest bull in the world, and a milk cow sometimes looks like it's trouble. That's a great ride.
Absolutely terrific bull riding. The bulls were really ranked tonight, and we got 4 of them covered.
And we're down to one more night. Pretty exciting.
Oh, and how about
stuff.
Wesley Silcox?
How about Wesley Silcox?
Okay, let me
come right on back.
Came on our show. He had 2 concussions. Well, the first night they came in and said, well, he had a little bit of a concussion. You know, and I said, well, isn't that like being a little bit pregnant? I didn't follow the doctor
Evidently
very well.
it wasn't, because he came on back.
So then so he gets on, and then this bull just drills him into the bucking chute. His top of his head hits the pipes, the steel pipes, and knocks him out. And so he's got a lot of a concussion now that they decided. So he doesn't pass the protocol, so he has to miss 2 nights. And goes in this morning, passes his test. Well, right before the bull riding tonight, he's warming up. He's just been sitting around. He felt pretty good. And he started getting a little dizzy, started getting a little nauseous, and he was sweating a little bit, and gets on his bull. He was wondering, second-guessing his decision. And he said, man, I said, Wesley, I said, that just shows you what I've talked to you all week long. Get out of your own way. He begun to worry about his own health instead of how he was going to ride that bull. Trusted his own instincts. You ride good enough to protect yourself, and if you don't, you need to get a job. So he gets on this bull and rides him dead easy and gets off, and he said, man, why didn't I do that to start with? And I said, because you've been worrying about the bull instead of yourself. So great deal. I was just so glad to see him back, because there's not anybody got any more talent than Wesley Silcox.
Yep, made a great ride. I'm so glad that this lady is joining us here. One of our sponsors here has always been the Rodeo Historical Society. There's a new incoming president who is here to visit with us, and she knows more dirt on Donnie Gay than any person on the planet. Sharon Shoulders is the incoming. Would you welcome her, please?
I already got my hug backstage.
Are we going to sit or are we going to stand?
We're going to sit.
Oh, okay.
Sit right there next to Joe. My gosh, it's good to see you, Sharon.
Well, thank you very much.
We're glad.
Okay, so for any of you who, if y'all like the rodeo business, don't know this, she was married to Jim Shoulders, my hero, 16-time world champion. This is the first lady of rodeo right here.
For a few years.
It's so good to have you here. And first, Sharon, before we have you tell a few stories about Donnie that I would love to have you tell, talk to us about the Rodeo Historical Society, what they do, and you're the incoming president, but let's talk about that organization.
Well, I like to remind people that what is now called the National Cowboy Heritage Museum was originally the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And it was the first one in the United States. And I think people overlook that because there are so many more now. Almost every state has a cowboy or rodeo or Western Hall of Fame of some kind. And it's a good fundraiser. It's a good moneymaker. Yes. You know, you have auctions but I think they tend to forget that most of them were patterned after the hall in Oklahoma City. And we're hoping that, and if you have someone that you want to maybe apply for an induction, you can send them in, and if you get them in before the end of this year, they'll be able to be on the ballot maybe for next year. As a matter of fact, I've had a couple of people ask me about that just even today. Wickpath was one of them. Not him, but someone who wants to nominate him. And I said, that's a good idea. That's someone good. So if you have someone, why you want to get them in there.
And tell us, you said Oklahoma City, so when can people come there and what are they going to see?
What are they going to see at the Cowboy? Oh, yeah.
Like these guys here, what are they going to see?
Yeah. Well, now, we have a lot of great Western art also. So it isn't, but the original intent was Cowboy Hall of Fame. And when people come from all over the United States, I think the main thing that they are interested in, cowboys and Indians. You know, there are still a lot of places in the United States, particularly the eastern part of the United States, that think in Oklahoma, we have Indians standing on the street corners in blankets. So, but we have all of the champions, past champions, lots of artwork. We have a wonderful gift museum with some really classy.
If you go there, you don't want to go and be in a hurry. You can't really go through it in just a couple of hours. And it's not just for rodeo cowboys, but it has the rodeo cowboys because when this thing started, most of the rodeo cowboys had real cowboying ranch background. Well, that's beginning, that's going away. It's ending. A lot of the big ranches, being corporatized and, and broken up. A little bit different. Not all of it bad, but that's the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned because I was lucky enough to get to go to some of the World Champion Awards. That's where we always had the banquets. Back when I thought I was king in the 70s and 80s in Oklahoma City at the finals where you get your buckles and saddles and stuff and get to go in and you'd see all of Jim's stuff, all of Casey Tibbs' stuff, and then you go on back and you see stuff from Homer Pettigrew, and it's an amazing place, and they couldn't have gotten anyone. I don't know how they hog-tied you into it, but I don't know how they got you to take that post, but they couldn't have got a better person to represent the real Cowboy Hall of Fame museum besides Sharon Shoulders.
Well, it's full of history. It's very historical for the West especially. And Jim Shoulders turned over the first blade of dirt on that hill when it was a bare hill called Persimmon Hill.
You know what's cool about it for a guy like me, because I wasn't around, in your era, that's where they had all the celebrations and all this stuff. So that's what I always knew about it. But then to get inducted into it and to walk into those buildings and know who had been there before, know all the legends that had stuff to do with it, that was, I've been inducted into a lot of halls and a lot of different things, but that's almost kind of an wow feeling. And now you don't wow me very easily, but to go where that the forefathers of what what I was doing and what I did and what I'm doing still for rodeo, that's where it all started. That's a pretty cool place to be put up in, you know.
You know, and I saw, you know, Pam Minnick and Larry Mahan, you know, did the MC and the induction to time or two that I was there. I mean, just to have Pam Minnick and Larry Mahan on the stage ought to be enough to get most people to want to go, because that are still into the rodeo business, but you know, got to shoot the bull instead of ride them. They're our age, and so it's a lot of fun.
That's the epitome of the Western world, really.
Sharon, what I wanted to ask you, just a rodeo question as an aside. We've been talking with Donnie and Joe this week about $10 million being at stake this year. So the first year, and Donnie probably knows, the first year, what was the first year Jim won a world title?
The first year?
Yeah, do you remember what year that would be?
Would have been, well, before the National Finals started in 1959. He had already won.
Yeah, 19...
well, and Madison Square Garden used to be what the National Finals Rodeo is today, because it was the largest rodeo in the United States, paid the most money at that time. And it lasted like a month.
It was like 30 days long.
Yeah,
and
right.
two performances every day, or sometimes more.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I mean, I have seen articles and things of Jim and Dude Smith get on 15 bareback horses, have 15 go-arounds. In fact, I could probably wake Dude up over here and ask him how many bucking horses and bulls he got on and bulldogged in Madison Square Garden. You know, so I know... I hope this doesn't bore you too much, because if you don't know where rodeo came from, you're just not ever going to know very much. So I'm proud to be sitting here by you and Joe, because I know how Joe Beaver was raised, you know, and this rodeo business, it's important to me.
Well, I helped raise Donnie, as I told him, changed his diapers and
I was just
still got a really, I still have a really cute butt.
And I've known Joe since he was a teenager, so I feel like I'm the mother and grandmother and great-grandmother to all the Cowboys.
Well, and I tell you, tonight we saw Dean Oliver recognized at the performance this evening, but it's always with reverence, whether it's Joe, whether it's Donnie, anybody else, and I was fortunate enough to work with Jim on several telecasts, but...
I'm sorry.
Well, no. Just the greatest guy.
Yeah,
just
I'll make the apologies right now.
No, it was, but that's the one guy that everybody talks about with reverence, especially.
Yeah.
Well, you know, to be around what Jim and you and Donna and Clem McSpadden and what y'all did in Oklahoma City when the National Finals came from Los Angeles to Oklahoma City in 1965, that was about the last hoorah for the National Finals. And from what I understand, I think I was like maybe 12, 13 years old at the time. But they forced all the stock contractors to buy at least 12 tickets where you'd have some people in the grandstands. And they bought them. My dad still has those same 12 tickets, and they're on the front row here in the Thomas and Mack. So turned in to be a pretty good investment. But this generation worked so hard to get it set up, because the first time I went to the National Finals in 1972, first place paid $429 for first in a go-round, in the bull riding. It didn't pay that much for first in 1959 in Dallas, Texas, when Jim Shoulders won first in the bull riding.
Right, and it was a hard sell to start the National Finals. And I can remember in Oklahoma City that Clem would have Jim, and there were several of those guys, and they would just travel around and go to the surrounding states for free, paying our own way, just to help advertise to get people to attend.
So if it's hard to get a guy that just won, you know, that's already won $50,000 or $60,000 this week to drive over and shake hands and visit, you know, for 10 minutes at a hotel across the highway, you know, Jim Shoulders and those guys were driving 2 or 3 different states handing out flyers to come watch us work.
But
we're pretty good.
That's why we're at where we are at today. is
Exactly.
because of the start and the dedication and the believing that these guys had so far back, and these ladies that worked at it. This didn't just, they didn't snap their fingers and Benny and start the national finals here in Las Vegas. I mean, all this stuff started, because I remember Donnie's talking about $400. The first year I made them, it was a big deal with the Thomas and Mack because it was a small venue. Well, they said at the rounds paid $8,000 or whatever, and I was like, man, I'll rope in the parking lot for $8,000.
$8,500 because it doubled from I won my last world title.
It started right here with these people, their care, their trip, their dedication, and that's why we acknowledge them today, and we admire them, and we appreciate what they've done. Ladies like her, they're not made every day.
Thank goodness.
Would you please give her a hand? Sharon Shoulders.
Very well said.
Incoming president, Rodeo Historical Society. Awesome.
Good, it was painless. I'll take that.
Outstanding. How about that, huh? Yep. Joe, while Donnie's taking her down there, we've had other questions come in here. Let's go to number 4 there, Joe. There are people already talking about getting tickets for next year's Shootout. They think it would be better, Donnie.
I think we ought to invite Donnie, too.
If you were riding
Well,
bulls.
I wouldn't rode no worse than they did today.
I think, I'm going to say, well, I'm going to put it this way. Okay, stop and think. Donnie's got to do the show tonight, right? He's the last bull rider out, Dan, and nobody's ridden. We wouldn't have Donnie on the show tonight because he would have had handcuffs, super glue, whatever it took, determination, bit him on the ear, but I bet you wouldn't have went down as easy as some I saw.
Well, I don't know what it might look like, but I know that I just can't. I cannot imagine myself going and getting on, not believing that I was not going to ride him. I can't do that.
Well, let's talk about the tickets. When will those go on sale?
I thought I could beat my brother up too, but tried for 20 years and never could do it.
Okay.
So.
Is Jackie sitting out there? Jackie, when are you going to start putting tickets out there for next year? Do you know?
Can we buy them yet for next year, Jack?
We'll work on that and have an answer for you by tomorrow.
We'll just go ahead and say, yeah, y'all need to get them
we'll
for
do
next
that.
year. I'll tell you one thing it is going to do. It's going to get bigger, and it's going to get better.
Yeah.
So if people want tickets, and in 4 or 5 years from now, I think we stand right here and we talk about this, I think it's going to be a lot more money. It's going to be a lot bigger deal. It's going to be harder to get tickets too. So if you want ahead of the groove, you better get in it now and find a way.
And you can talk to people that are staying at the hotel and ask them, the ones that have competed in the things, with the people that you met across the stage. Cody he's going to be able to rope. I mean, here's a guy. He doesn't have to do this. He's flanking some of his bulls with Servy at the rodeo, but he's having to get 2 to 4 hours of treatment on his back just where he can get out of bed, let alone get on his horse and go rope a tie calf.
He can't even walk.
So he wants to be here. So that tells me something.
All right. Let's get our next guest out here. This young man is making his mark. I think he is back there. I think he's making his mark for sure. His 7th time here to the NFR. Header extraordinaire Derrick Begay is here this evening, I believe.
Right.
There he
Begay,
is.
you made it.
Man. Well, good to have you here. Good to have you here.
All right.
Have a seat there, Derrick.
We're going to talk team roping, but first you got to know that they have this little rodeo in November. Donnie and I work right down the street. It's called the Indian National Finals Rodeo. Derrick Begay, Sin and Jenny, Eric Rogers, Victor, the whole crew of them go down there and rope, win. And then they come down the street to this one, and they rope with the champ, Clay O'Brien Cooper, and you just kick there, all week and win a lot of money. What does that feel like, Derrick Begay?
Well, thank you for having me. This is the best finals I ever had, but then another way, it's kind of a bummed out little bit finals. I should have done a little better than what I did, but we came here to make money, and that's what we've been doing this week, so it's been going good. I got my whole family here, and one cool part about this whole thing is every night I get to back in the box with the champ.
And the champ's Clay O'Brien Cooper.
Yeah,
but let me tell you what Begay has done for the champ. We've never, we have years back. In years, nobody has seen this much emotion and expression out of the champ. The champ is having a blast. Derrick Begay is turning him fast. We'll have some film to watch later, but he is turning them fast. He's got the champ's fire pumped up. He's swinging fast. He's smiling right now the arena. He even pointed at somebody the other night. And for the champ, I mean, that's like everybody else taking all their clothes off and jumping off their horse.
I saw him actually give
Did
somebody
you
a
see it?
high five the
I'm
other
telling
night.
you,
Yeah.
Begay, you've got him rejuvenated.
Yeah,
What have you done?
Well, it's funny because all us guys that know the champ like us and Joe Beaver and all those guys that look up to him and compete with him each and every day, he hardly shows any kind of emotion. And the other night they were making fun of him. They're like, "Man, champ, you went 3-9 first time in your life, won the day money, and this is the best you could do." Is just, I mean,
and that's really doing something for him, isn't it?
Yeah, we faced and we pulled back and it was 3-9 and the crowd went wild. This
But Begay, when he faces up, he about rips his horse's lips off. He's getting phased. He's like, yeah. And the champ's like, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
I will tell you, though, the other night, I'm giving him a hard time because in the box, the champ just usually sits there, and he's cool and collected. And his horse always is real still, scores, because he just kind of, and he cruises out there and he gets his rope up. Well, the other night, after they went out of the average, Begay, he just gets a swing off in the box and he throws, and the champ's eyes are as big as that light. I look away from a monitor, and I just kind of look because I heard the gates bang, and I heard Begay, you can hear that swing, and I look, and Begay's already throwing, and the champ's eyes are this big, and he jerks his rope up, and about that time the steer turns, and he whips it down there and gets him. I see him later on in the moat, and I said, "Champ, you're going to, that thing's happening fast." He said, "Did you see? I'm going to have to start swinging in the box." He said, "This kid's going to kill me here."
Let's take a look at Derrick and the champ at work here. Let's start, Joe, with tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's run. You and Derrick can talk about it.
Well, Begay broke the barrier, and I saw him today, the autograph deal we did together. And I said, well, he said, okay, I'm going to start being late again and just throwing it, just reaching. Tonight, perfect job. He reaches, that horse is gone, which they got to be quick. The champ waits one jump till he comes together. Watch the head horse, people. You see the fence? He climbs in the third row and tries to face. That's what a head horse has to do. Go ahead. Tell us what happened, Begay.
Well, that's not the proper way to do it, and that's...
Begay, I'm trying to cover for you here. You won money.
Well, I mean...
And he called me Mr. Gay when he walked in here. Now, I ain't helping you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're really... This is the 9th round, and we need to win high in the round tonight for us to give ourselves a chance for tomorrow night. And I told myself today, so you know what, I ain't going to be scared of nothing. I'm going to let that steer out. I'm going to reach. I'm going to duck. I'm going to switch him. I said, my partner back there, he's going to catch 2 feet no matter where they're at. And that's what we did tonight. And
okay, but look at the clock. If you get a flag, which it could have gone, I'm not saying you should have got it, but one more step and you're 3, 6, or 7. Okay, watch. It's turned, and you see the clock back there? Watch when Clay heels him and Begay starts his horse around. All right, they're tight right there, and it's at 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 7. If you'd have had 5 foot, y'all would have been 3, 7. So that is the throw to take.
We need to show that replay to the judges, huh?
Yeah.
I was trying to, in a nice way.
Well, I tell you,
you might have had something to go
I've been
with.
listening to the bronc riders on the mark out and trying to explain the replay to the judges, and they're going, "Are you going to believe us or your lying eyes?"
How much you won this week, Begay?
Well, I looked at it earlier, and we got 91-1, and that's by far the best finals I ever had. I've been here 6 years before this, and it's pretty neat. That's by far the most money I won by a long shot.
How old's that horse, Begay?
He don't have papers, so I'm not sure exactly how old he is.
He's got to be 16,
no,
17, 15.
He's older than 16. I want to say he's close to 20.
That is one of the best horses, y'all, in the game. 20 years old, and look how good he looks. And, I mean, he will climb a fence.
Is he gentle?
To face.
He's the horse I ride. Been riding the last 8 years, and he's the one that got me here all 8 years, and he usually don't duck that hard. But the other day, somebody's like, "Man, your horse is short. That horse is ducking." I said, "Well, if you let him, he will, and if you want him, he will." And that's what we've been doing, I guess.
Hey, I won Redding, California on that horse, and I haven't roped in years. And he is just as good as anything you ever ride. But if you have a free-running horse in here, what they don't understand, Derrick, a free-running horse takes time out of your run here. I mean, you may not want to be that quick, but you want him to be tight and quick.
Yeah, well, we got one more run tomorrow, and it's going to be a big run tomorrow, so I need him to...
Derrick, what they're going to do is put round 4 up back there. But just tell everybody how did you and Cleo get together? How did that happen?
Well, to look back at it now, and the only thing I can think of is destiny, I guess.
Destiny. Here it is. This is round 4.
Look at that. I'm talking about dirty fast.
Is this where his eyes were real big?
Dirty. No, this is when he starts swinging. See, this is after that. He's swinging in the box, and I mean, he's ready. This steer turns and comes together. When he whips it down there, when the champ dallies, there's no weakening, is there?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite run I've probably ever made in my whole life right there, just because where it was and how fast we were and who was behind me.
And look how quick, you see what I'm talking about? The champ swings before he ever leaves the box. I mean, he knows it's going to be fast. And the sawhorse, like I said, always look at him face and go to the end of the rope. You know, I told, I'm not as politically correct as a lot of people. And 2 years ago, when we talked about that, and I said, look, you got to get a good partner. And I meant a good partner. Because Derrick Begay, that's world championship stuff. That is world championship heading right there.
That's the next step,
and
too.
he can do it. He can do it all summer in the long barriers. And I told him, I said, you know, Begay, you've got to go. And if they want, the best one tells you no, go to the next one. Because you've got to have a wheel as good as you rope. And he got a wheel now.
We want to know if somebody would be so stupid as to say you know.
Well, I need to make that run right there tomorrow night. That's my goal right there. That's pretty. And
So
that's
y'all
easy.
already know the steers that are coming tomorrow?
Well, no, we don't got them drawn yet, but I got one picked out.
Boy, if you can get them to listen to that, you really can do something.
Just
Man.
incredible. If they show that one more time, Joe, look at the clock on this one when they're tight and facing each other.
Look when the champ is swinging
Yes.
his rope. Derrick's already throwing, and it's on point something. And the champ. All right, let's watch.
Watch this clock. It'll probably be more
No,
in the
that's
replay.
that's tonight.
No, we need the one you just showed, guys.
Yeah,
one before that.
Round
We don't need to
4.
watch that one.
Let's watch this one. Look. Oh, we almost saw it. You need to study this one, Begay. This was awesome work right here.
Yeah, I need to do this tomorrow right here. This
All right.
one right here.
He's swinging. He's throwing. The champ's it's point something. He's already got a heel. Look at that.
Yeah.
3-3 could have been 3-3
Yes.
just as easy as
Yes.
3-6.
Here,
and
watch
that's the
the-
whole deal.
the
Look at
clock
the champ.
behind him,
Look,
Joe.
0.5, and the champ's already swinging about 8 times.
I seen that run probably.
Right there.
So where's the flagger at?
Now if you want to
Where-
watch it back here, people, and you can see. All right. Now watch the clock. That's the pretty little red numbers up there. All right. Begay turns him. The champ whips it down there. He's going to get a dally, and he's going to lay back. Now wait till the ropes are tight and they're looking right now.
Hello?
Derrick, what I want to tell people is your mom and dad very involved in roping. It's your whole family and the organization that they're a part of. Would you tell us that as well about your folks?
Well,
The All Indian Rodeo Association.
yeah, they're here tonight. I mean,
Introduce them once. Will
The
you?
old,
Where are they
the,
seated?
the old
Where they
champ.
at?
they're sitting right there. My mom, my dad, and my girlfriend right there.
Oh,
There
yeah,
they are,
there
right
All
there.
right,
Right
there we
there.
go. Okay.
They're
Yeah, they can all swing a rope.
yeah, there's
Yeah. That girl can rope too, let me just
They're
tell you.
they're the ones that I mean, they couldn't give me much, but what they gave me is the opportunity, and I took it. So that's what they gave me, and I gotta try to give it back to them as much as I could. So it's neat having them here. I mean, like I told someone the other day, I said, you know what, winning's winning, and money's money, but it's fun when you have someone behind you and someone pulling for you. It just makes it much more better.
Awesome.
That
Derrick
says a lot.
Begay right there.
Good
That's
job.
how come the Cowboys don't form a union.
Give him a hand. Mom and Dad, awesome. Thank you for being here. Yes. Joe is coaching already right there. How about that young man, huh? I love it. Derrick Begay. Thank you, Derrick. Thank you for being here. Outstanding.
Yeah, that's a really good kid.
He's one of my favorite guys. You know,
Really good kid.
But boy, he just doesn't say much.
Hey, he says a whole lot more than he did 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I think, am I right? I mean, he's coming on. He's going to be.
You got to help me
man.
out, though. I mean, Mr. Gay, hell, I thought my dad had showed up.
Well, you got to remember, you keep telling them stories about when the rounds paid $400. Hell, they think you're really old. Wait a minute. Oh, no, never mind. I'll leave that alone.
Let's get these next two guys out here and talk a little rodeo in our last 10 minutes of the show here. Bob Tallman, Boyd Polhamus are here. Welcome them, please, to National Finals tonight. Gentlemen, nice and pink. He throws a head loop just like you.
Yeah, right. Before we talk rodeo,
All right.
this is semi-rodeo related. I've been thinking about this because we have a fantasy rodeo league that's just for charity. If I win, which I am winning, the Wounded Warrior Foundation will receive $5,000 as the winner of my team. But the other pleasure that I get is I get to pick the tattoo for the loser.
Is Donnie losing?
He is
Going
losing.
into the 10th round?
The
bottom.
One round left.
I got one
so
more
I've
purse.
given a lot of thought to what kind of tattoo I would give him. The first thing that crossed my mind was, I am what my name says I am, okay? And then I thought, no, that's a little too just point blank. So let's go ahead and get a rainbow tat right above the crack of his butt that says exit only.
Tally, you ready for that?
I'm telling you, that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
be
going for.
Hey, I'm going to be the first one to tell Neil Gay.
Here's the
Can you
generational
imagine
difference.
him with a tramp stamp in color?
A tramp stamp that's a rainbow.
Now, if you look in the audience, his daughter is laughing. His wife is bawling. She's tears right down.
His daughter's going, yeah, get it for him.
Now you have one more round to redeem yourself. Is it?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Sharon, can I come to Oklahoma and live with y'all?
Here's the funny thing, though, is because a year ago, Fred Whitfield was getting the tat on the 9th round, okay? But when the average gets paid, a lot of flip-flopping happens. I feel Justin Mumford's second behind me, which I do not want to lose to a fat rodeo clown, trust me, okay? The only problem is third is Flint Rasmussen, which is losing to a skinny rodeo clown. That's not any better, okay? But when that average gets paid, I'm fairly certain Donnie won't have to suffer the fate. It might be Butch Knowles.
Butch Knowles is already, he said on
See,
TV.
I'm not going to say anything ugly about it. I'm praying, boys. I don't want to win
He texted
last.
Wade Brooks and goes, I hope a bull jumps out of the arena into the announcer stand and kills all three you no good. Anyway, I don't want. I know we're here to talk.
Oh, you're just going to throw that
No,
out.
that's good.
Throw that out.
Now,
there.
Bob, today we had about 3,600 people. We've already heard that tomorrow for the shootout, they've already pre-sold over 3,700 tickets for that.
About an hour ago, the count was 4,000.
All right.
It's the coolest thing in town.
And tomorrow's going to be really the funnest day to watch it because when 6 turns to 3 and 3 turns to sudden death, did you make the 6?
Did he?
How much did you put
what'd
on
I
you?
say? What'd I say?
How much did you bet on yourself?
1,000 is all they'd let me.
And
10 to 1.
that's a true story. He went up there,
At 10
and
to
I've
1.
never seen him in Vegas turning. He whooped out $3,000 on me, and they said, "Well, we can't do that." And he said, "What can we do?" He said, 1,000. So he got, he just went right on down the line.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
he got no backup.
Hey, one thing about it, what do you say, Donnie? If you're scared to get a job, if you don't think you can win, quit. I got neither one of those problems.
And Joe, what were the odds because the odds are changing, right?
Oh yeah, they were like 15 to 1 till I bet, and then they went to 10 to 1, and I locked in.
So you're locked in at 10.
It's because of them little young guys like him that throw fast, and them headers like Cody. They just know the young. They didn't think the old guy could do anything, but it's team roping. You never know.
So what are we going to see tomorrow, gentlemen? This is
All right, we're going to go with the 6 that qualified out of yesterday and today. And here's the
4 that earn the right by being 16 through 19. Excuse me, I just want to make sure people understand it because we'll do it again this way next year, I'm sure. But 16 through 19 were the 4. Then there were 4 invitees, okay? After 2 rounds of competition, we whittle it down to 6. What you did in the first 2 rounds no longer matters. Throw it out the window. Okay. Throw it out the window. Tomorrow, you got to be in the top 3 in the 6th round. And once you get to the top 3, you got to be the fastest gun there to get paid.
Okay.
No, but I mean that is the way to, and you know, part of me likes that and part of me doesn't. But you know, I just want to watch the young guys do it because you know the 3 guys that get to 6 that aren't the top 3, they got what the little bird left on the hoe handle. Zip.
Who made it in the bull ride? Who advanced?
Well, they Trevor Kastner and Jeff Askey and Jacob O'Mara, they all made the whistle on and got scores 1, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on round 1. And today, nobody made the whistle, so we had 2 Cowboys come back on time, and one of those is J.W. Harris, and so that makes up the 6. So,
but can I just say for the record, look, there's no animosity whatsoever. I think they're a fine organization, but just for the record, our 16 through 19 guys qualified by riding bulls more than the PBR did. Just a fact.
Yeah.
Just a fact. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, and then the guy that works the dirt for the PBR fixed the arena over here for the barrel racers and so.
I'm not talking dirt. I'm not talking dirt.
Okay, so
you know, and I'm one of the guys that was thrown under that bus that said PBR, kaboom, kaboom.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
but facts are facts.
And look, I'm a fan of them. I only do one event a year for them, and listen, they've done well. Okay, all I'm trying to say is every now and then I get told that the greatest bull riders in the world are in the PBR.
Well,
I think they've got 10 great bull riders just like we've got 10 great bull riders, okay? So I'm not ready to acquiesce that the greatest just ride over there. I'm just not willing to give that up.
So let's talk about, so that's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That starts.
Next year, can it be at 1:30, please? Because I have to leave at 4 o'clock for my meeting and the traffic trying to get
people
on.
are already asking if they can start buying tickets for next year. Isn't that a wonderful thing on that? So it's at 2 o'clock
I like
tomorrow.
1:30 also. We'll lobby. You know,
We'll lobby?
We'll do high low. We'll lobby, yeah.
Okay.
Show them your tat.
That might not get us much, but laughs.
Okay, Boyd, so tomorrow is round 10 here at the big show, and from last night
not
to
a lot's
tonight,
changed.
anything changed?
So
Okay.
I'll just give you some. There's some. People,
Sage Kimsey's the world champion again.
yeah, he is. He is. They're mathematically
Official from Donnie.
Yeah, mathematically, Cody has a 10% chance. Okay, but he's the world champ. He's right. Sage is a world champ. Bareback bronc riding right now. If you pay it, Casey Field beats Stephen Peebles by 10,000. Okay, so that means because nothing's going to change in the aggregate. It's just not. I mean, because Stephen's got a 34-point lead in the aggregate. He's going to, if he rides his horse, he's going to win first in the aggregate. Okay, and Casey's winning 3rd in the aggregate, and Seth Hardwick has got a pretty like a 9-point lead on him at number 2 in the average. So that means there'd have to be 9 points between Casey and Seth for Casey to move up from 3rd to 2nd and gain that $11,000. So if you just go, okay, how's this dog going to hunt? Stephen Peebles needs to place 2 spots ahead of Casey. So if Casey wins 5th, Stephen can't win 3rd, or can't win 4th, can't win 3rd, he's got to win 2nd. Okay? So steer wrestling, watch Tanner Milan. He's got no chance of winning the world, but he can help Hunter Heron a bunch, okay? Or excuse me, Hunter Kier. Yeah, if Tanner were to have a bad day, then Hunter's going to move up. He's trailing Dakota Eldridge by 11,000 if you pay it out. The difference between 3rd and 4th in the average is 9. Who is 3rd in the average? Tanner. So while you would watch this rodeo tomorrow night and go, well, Tanner don't have really a shot at winning the world, but he's got a voice in what's going to happen there. Very well could be split world championships in the team roping yet. Remember when JoJo filled in for Jake, JoJo was 16th in the world, so there was a substantial amount of money different between what Jake had won and what JoJo had won. If you pay it out, both JoJo and Junior win, but only by $4,000 for Junior over Luke Brown, $14,000 for, JoJo over Luke Brown, and $14,000 for Junior over Colin. Okay, that's what we got to watch that unfold tomorrow. Colin and Luke, see what they get done, and see what happens. But it could be if the things don't go well for JoJo and Junior tomorrow, there's a very good opportunity for Luke and Colin to overtake them. If they do medium well, then there's a chance for Luke to win the world championship and Colin to finish second to Junior. So that's going to be mind-boggling. Saddle bronc riding's Coburn Washburn can't win the world, but he can help Wade Sundell by bucking off. Okay? Yeah. So as good as Coburn.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, and in the interest of full disclosure, Coburn is on my fantasy team. Anyway, but seriously, it's Jacob's Crawley's to lose in a lot of ways, and he's got Big Tex, which is a 2010 Bucking Horse of the Year. Wade has Wound Up. I don't know that horse very well. And Cody has one that I don't know. I think of the three guys that are really in the hunt, Jacobs drew better. Probably drew the better horse than the other three guys.
Well, that might be, that turnabout fair play, because in the eliminator pen the other night, I thought Jacobs Crawley had the baddest horse to make. Probably, I didn't know if he could ride him, and I thought if he did, he wouldn't get scored at all. But he made a good ride on that horse.
And here's one for you to consider too. Tomorrow night it's going to be Casey has Time's Up, a Frontier, and Peebles has Good Time Charlie of Carr. And I just don't think those horses are so far apart that Steven can be 2 spots ahead of Casey. It's going to be tough for Steven to finish 2 spots ahead of Casey in order. His average is 1, the 67,000. Again, he rides his horse. If Steven rides Good Time Charlie, which I believe he will, he's going to win $67,000. But he's got to win $10,000 more to overtake Casey, okay? And so that means 2 spots ahead of him. Is Good Time Charlie that much better than Time's Up? And the answer to me is no. So again, we're just looking, all right? Okay. Tie-down roping, really interesting. Trevor Brazil is your world champion in a lot of ways. You look at him and you go, man, he's only 0.7 of a second behind Caleb Smith to move up from second to first in the average. But who's breathing down his back? Monty Lewis is only a 0.5 second behind Trevor. And again, these average spots are about $11,000, about $5,000 a piece every time you drop in the aggregate. Okay, so I'm gonna watch Monty Lewis and Matt Shizawa in the early going tomorrow, because whatever Monty Lewis and Matt Shizawa do will have an effect on Trevor Brazil and Caleb Smith, who today are the odds-on favorites to win it. But depending upon what those 2 guys that you may not do the math and think they have a chance, both of them do, and both of them could have an effect on both Caleb and Trevor on how they end up. So the ladies in the barrel racing, Lisa Lockhart has a very good shot. Callie did not place tonight. Okay, you pay it out, and Callie wins over Lisa by just shy of 30 grand. Okay, but Callie is running safe, as she should on Dylan to a certain extent, playing it right. Okay, but she didn't get checked tonight. Lisa won 3rd. That's 16,000. So now if you go to tomorrow and Lisa wins 3rd again, that's 16,000. She's cut that 30 down to 14. If Callie doesn't place and Lisa finishes in the top 3, very much in it. Sarah Rose hurt herself a bunch tonight with that barrel. She did. And as he pointed out, bull riding is Sage Kimsey.
Well, the race tomorrow is winning the championship, the average here in the bull riding, which is winning the best bull riding. And so Cody Teal is a bull up on Sage. If Cody Teal makes the whistle, he wins the average. If he bucks off and Sage makes the whistle, I think he's the average winner, because he's 2 bulls or a bull behind Cody, but he's a bull ahead of everybody else.
Right, and the only way Cody gets helped, because the math is still there, still mathematically possible, but First, Sage would have to buck off, and Clayton Foltine would have to be 90 points. Those two things have to have in conjunction. Sage bucks off, Clayton Foltine is 90 points. That's the only way Sage drops a spot in the average. And that has to happen for Teal to then win the round, win the average, and even have a 10-cent prayer of overtaking.
Sage is the world champion, but you know, we haven't seen a 90 in the bull riding, so I don't know how much nitrogen you'd have to pump down in the judges' room to get that. I don't care who it was. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you rode any of the bulls that they've won first or second on in any go-round at any rodeo other than here, the scores would be anywhere from 4 to 8 points higher across the board.
All right.
How are you going to fix that?
I'm not. I ain't going to fart with it. I'm just going to grab.
All right. Gentlemen,
I'm
tomorrow.
going to watch it, you know. As long as they get if they get the places right, it's not all bad.
Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, be at the Orleans Arena. Final round, the inaugural Boyd Shootout. What a success, and we're excited to be there tomorrow night.
It's good. Hey, look, and this thing's only going to get bigger as it goes.
Yep.
Okay? I mean, do you remember the first year we had NFT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
We had to clap for each other.
Exactly. We did. We didn't have this, okay? Last night, they put more people in this showroom for NFT than they've ever had before, and they wouldn't have been able to fit them in the showroom at the Gold Coast, okay? So we're going to keep growing this event, but he used to work for Boyd. He doesn't anymore. His name was Dan Stark, but he said something to me one time just as wise as Joe said to me when he said, funny things happen in short rounds, okay? When the pressure's on and all you have to do is X, for those people who don't have that shit running right down through here, they won't do X, okay? And that's why crazy things happen. It's why certain guys never won world titles that we thought always would. But it takes 3 years to build an event. It takes 3 years. For those of you who come to it initially, you're gonna be smart enough to know, hey, man, that's fun, and I'm gonna get my tickets to it the minute I get back to Vegas next year, and then the word is gonna get around in the coffee shops, and people are gonna talk, and then other people are gonna start buying, and then sooner or later, you're going to be told there aren't no more tickets available. And then they're going to go from 20 to 25 to 30
Get
to
the
40.
phone app that's free.
Right.
And start following along. And, you know, like for me, try to figure out how to use the darn thing.
You know, you need to figure out how to pick a fantasy rodeo team is what you need to figure out.
That's it. We thank you all for coming. Would you give these guys a round of applause, please, up here for National Finals tonight? And we will be here tomorrow night as well after round 10. We hope you stay in your seats. We have a lot of prizes to give away, and we'll do that right after we have our closing credits. But thank you for coming to National Finals tonight. Good night.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals Tonight Show at the Orleans, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Get your tickets to the Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout Rodeo, December 10th, 11th, and 12th, right next door. Prices start at $20 for the new way to rodeo. Head to the Buck and Ball Saloon for live music and dancing, beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. We're going to dance and party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.